Where were we? Yahiko was, showcasing his seducing ability. So let's see what's going to happen. Swaggers over the side, beside his chest, expertly raising a single eyebrow as he flips his hair out of his face. Why, hello there! I braced myself for a slap or a headlock in response. But Misaki only tilts her head quietly to the side, regarding him with a single arched brow. Can I help you? This appears to fluster Yahiko for a moment. Thankfully, he's not the school's best Casanova for nothing, which, honestly, really tells you something about the quality of our Casanovas. Actually, yes. Do you have a map? Because before he can even finish this sentence, Misaki's fingers whip around her phone with the ease of long practice. In 3 seconds flat, she's pulled a campus map onto her screen and shoved it in front of his face. Here, where in particular are you looking for? Where? Oh, are you also a transfer student? What? That certainly would make much more sense. I was just thinking, it's a little strange that a student would be asking me for directions since I just transferred here. But I should have realized, you must feel the instant connection of a fellow transfer student. When did you come here? Wait, this is a big misunderstanding. I'm trying to hit on you. Oh, I see. 7 out of 10. Huh? I rated your approach. You didn't even introduce yourself. Oh, you're right. How careless of me. I am the one and only Yahiko Ikari. Surely you've heard of me. I highly doubt it. You wouldn't by any chance happen to be the Yahiko Ikari from Gova Mecher? The president's aide? That Yahiko Ikari? Yahiko's chest practically doubles in size, and he grows boobs. I mean, wait, what? Indeed I am! Are you by any chance a fan? The biggest! I really enjoy the political satire, and the music is just amazing. Have we been watching the same show? Did you know that our patter tag is one of the top trending? And Isumu Times has listed as a viral phenomenon. Viral for what reasons? Well, that must be a different story. Congrats! I was sure that it would become a big hit. But of course, even the stars themselves are no match for an Ikari. Or the moon. Oh yeah, guess what my next dream is? Is it? To build a vacation home on the moon, yes! A vacation home. Actually, I was thinking that in the beginning I thought Misaki would just coldly reject him, because that's what we've been told. That's what usually happens, but actually, Misaki is quite receptive. I wonder what would happen if you jumped on the trampoline while on the moon. Or how high could you go? I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna test it. Yakiho and Misaki are new besties apparently, which is nothing short of absolutely terrifying. Meanwhile, I'm being completely ignored. Maybe she doesn't recognize me? Hey, Miki. She tilts her head in my direction, eyes bright. Hi. Do I know you? Wait, what? She doesn't remember? Well, come to think of it, she hadn't spared me a single word, or even a glance. She doesn't... how could she not... It's Yama. Yama Ishimoto. He's my minion. I'm sorry. I don't think we've met. Oh, you've got to be kidding. Childhood friend, 4 years back, you, me, and Ryui, we all hung out together. Nani? Total blankness. She's honestly forgot. Words start pouring out of my mouth as I frantically search for something to get a reaction out of her. Well, we all lived in Seto? Small town. 3 hours drive away? Yes? No? I'm sorry, I don't think... We all played together. We were inseparable. We met at that festival, the one of the lanterns. Misaki's expression gradually turns from polite to more and more skeptical. Of all ways I imagined we reunite, this was definitely not at the top of the list. Do you really not remember? I'm really very sorry. This can't be it. Ryu and I bawled our eyes out after she left. We hovered by the phone for hours, waiting for a single call. When nothing came, we even resorted to hovering by the mailbox, in the vain hopes that we would receive some snail mail. Is she saying that during that time, that 1 month, which turned to 6, which turned to 1 year, which turned to 4 years, she just forgotten us? How could that be possible? Unless... By any chance, you haven't gone to a tragic car accident and ended up with amnesia, have you? Wouldn't that be convenient? That's why you haven't called, not in 4 years. She backs away slowly, eyeing me like I'm an insane psychopath. Okay, this is bad. This is really bad. I wore a kimono. You really don't remember? She stops at that. A flash of recognition catching her eyes. Got her. I wore a goodbye kitty kimono and ran around calling you a tooth fairy. You did? On second thought, I really should have talked to her with no one else in the classroom. I was a kid. But you wore a kimono and called her the tooth fairy. Oh, yeah, but... About time you admitted it, Yama. I'm struck speechless as the situation begins to dawn on me. Got him! You know who I am? No, you. How could I not? It's only been 4 years. Then you were... faking it, of course. Why were you pretending not to notice me earlier? I knew you recognized me. Well... it's not every day you see an old friend who just decided to disappear one day. She stops at that, a flicker of irritation crossing her eyes at my cutting tone. It's not like I wanted to leave Seto, Yama. So why did you? My mother didn't leave me with much of a choice. You mean Satomi? She nods. You could have at least told us you were moving. I couldn't. I wait for an elaboration, but it never comes. That's it? You just couldn't tell us? Why not? Do you mind if we can talk about it later, Yama? I'm not very comfortable discussing it in class. I open my mouth to object, but something about Misaki's expression that prevents me from pursuing the issue further. She genuinely seems distraught. Something did happen. I was thinking maybe it was a car accident and she did get amnesia, but I guess that was too cliche. I guess something else happened that made her leave. Oh, wait. Yama wore a goodbye kitty kimono and called Misaki the tooth fairy? Luckily, Yahiko manages to change the subject. I decide to play along for the time being. I was a little kid, dang it. Your excuses, all excuses. It's not an excuse, there's a legitimate explanation. I somehow fell and got my yukata dirty, and it was at the festival. We went very close to home, and Miki had an extra kimono. A goodbye kitty kimono? Yes. Somehow, having Yahiko mock me just makes the entire thing 10 times worse. I cast a half-pleading, half-indignant glare at Misaki, who only shrugs in response. Well, it isn't my fault you enjoy cross-dressing. I don't! Or maybe you do, Yama. Do you have any repressed desires? Anyway. If only I had Pater at the time, I would have taken a photo. Wait, so what's this Pater you keep mentioning? Judging by the reactions I'm getting, I've just committed a huge faux pas. You don't know what Pater is? Where have you been living your whole life? Under a rock? Well, technically, that's what my name would imply. Yeah, Yama. Yama means mountain in Japanese. What, is it like a Secret Service database or something? Far more important, it's the most popular social networking website in today's society. Oh, so it's like Twitter. I really question your priorities. Through Patter, you share posts with 90 characters or less. It allows you to spread important news, demonstrate your support, provide instant feedback to questions, or just blog about your day. Government got big because of Patter. As for me, I like to give updates on the progress of my day. Okay, fine, but does anybody actually care? A sudden deathly chill pervades the room. My second major faux pas of the day, apparently. People care. Are you sure? Because the way I see it, tapping 2 buttons doesn't exactly make you... They care, damn it! Don't say nothing different till you pat yourself. Don't say nothing. Intense? Misaki? Oh wait, what? But the conversation grinds to a halt when Misaki's phone trills in her hand. She immediately regains her composure. Kazehaya speaking. Yes, understood. I'll be there in 5 minutes. She cuts the call and shoves her phone into her pocket, looking me square in the eye. I must go. Duty calls. Duty? What kind of duty? My employer has a job for me. Job? Now? What about school? Oh, I'm sure they'll excuse this one. Let's talk again later, Yama. Oh, and make sure to bring Ryu, okay? Goodbye. And like a tornado stalking its next target, she blazes out of the room. She had to left for mysterious, unexplained reasons, and she has a job with an employer? I'm left completely dumbfounded with a Yaiko who's dancing around the room like he just won his mansion on the moon. Partial rhyme there. I have a fan. I have an actual fan. A real fan. I wonder how long it'll be before I can pledge her to my service as my first true minion. I wordlessly leave him in his fantasy of world domination and head to the cafeteria. You know, ironically, world domination, that's also a thing I said in like middle school. I said I wanted to commit world domination. Man, I was a stupid kid. I guess I was a little bit like Yahiko when I was younger. A little bit. It's more out of routine than actually feeling hungry. The shock of running into an old friend after 4 years might have something to do with that. Maybe I should be angrier at Misaki, but at the same time, who knows what had happened with her and her mother? She seemed pretty uncomfortable talking about it. At least she's here now. I guess that's all that matters. If Misaki wants to tell me, she will on her own time. That's that. The cafeteria is broad and beautiful, boasting polished surfaces and tiny well-lit spaces. Modern furniture settles well on a brushed mahogany floor. Students in pristine uniforms travel to and fro, scooping food from the extensive buffet counters around the perimeter of the cafeteria and returning to their friends. I spot Ryui in the back corner of the cafeteria, staring up at the skylights with a thoughtful tilt to her head. Actually, this will be a perfect time to tell her about Misaki. Ryu will be thrilled to see her again. Hey, Ryu. She jumps slightly at the sudden sound, and only then do I remember that I'm supposed to be apologizing for being dramatic yesterday. Except, I've never been great at apologizing. or even good, or actually even mildly passable. Say, how are you? I'm doing okay. How was class? It was okay, I guess. Oh, okay. We shuffled for a moment, and I finally cleared my throat. About yesterday. It's okay, Yama. I know that seeing the bus must have brought up some memories. You were just lashing out. But I shouldn't have. No, I guess not. So next time something like that happens, I reserve the right to snap you silly. And just like that, everything is right between us. Marry her, damn it! What have I done to deserve a friend like this? Thanks. But buy me lunch. What? Oh, come on, it's only fair. If I go into debt, I blame you for constantly mooching off of me. Are you ever gonna pay off for your own food? Or pay for your own food? Probably not. But you can't count those grocery trips because I end up cooking everything for you. And yourself. Labor taxes. Let's go already, I'm hungry. But just as she reaches forward and pulls my arm to her side, we hear a very familiar voice from behind us. Well, 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 what have we here? Oh, it's Ryota. We jerked around in synchronization and probably come face to face with Mr. Ryota. Ryu quickly squeaks and jumps away, suddenly bashful. Oh, hi, Mr. Ryota. Look at you two, your adorable childhood friends, finally getting together after years of unneeded drama. Bah, I feel sick. What is this, some crappy anime? Sort of. What? We're not together, Baka? I wouldn't get out with Yama in a million years. It's actually really adorable. I struggle to maintain a straight face. I know, I'm just too good for you. She snaps back into the Ryu that the rest of the academy knows her as, witty, confident, and a tough, malicious. She opens her mouth, no doubt to smite me with some comeback or another, but Mr. Ryota breaks us up. Well, if I don't end up barfing my guts out, you guys have the most adorable wedding in all of history. And there goes Ryu. How can you say something like that, Mr. Ryota? You're a teacher, you should know better. Oh, come on. You two will look back on this day, mark my words. With a cheerful wave, he splits to the facility express line. Or faculty express line, rather. Those words sound fairly ominous. I can already imagine all the embarrassing stories he'd liberally share with the other wedding guests. We probably have so many people rolling in the aisles from laughter that Ryu won't even be able to walk properly. What the heck am I even thinking about? Wedding? Really? Mr. Ryota's being his usual self, I see. Yep. Now he's got me thinking about... nope, not going there. Maybe now would be a good time to switch topics. Alright, I even have the perfect material. Hey, Ryu. You're not gonna believe this, but I saw Miki today. Ryu's face cuts to complete blankness in the space of a millisecond. It is really shocking news. Maybe I should have eased it a bit. She ended up transferring to the school and we coincidentally wound up in the same class. Dead silence. I finally start to feel a prickle of apprehension. We can hang out together again and we can... Did you talk to her? What? Of course, it's Miki. Ryu, what's wrong? Aren't you happy? Well, no, I'm not. As far as I'm concerned, she has nothing to do with either of us anymore, don't you remember? Oh, we were kids who held a stupid grudge for something beyond her control. Oh, come on, we're older than that now. Oh, are we? She didn't really apologize, did she? Well... I pause for a moment. Ryu's expression immediately darkens. I see that she didn't, and I know why. Because she wasn't there to see you fall apart. I don't think you remember, Yama, but you were in a really bad place after she left. Even to the point where, I mean, you know. You care too much, Ryu. You care too much about us. But that wasn't because of Mitsuki. I mean, yeah, but She triggered the whole thing. It's just, when I think about it, I get mad at her. Really mad. So it's probably best for both her and me if she stays away. So, you're not gonna be friends again? I thought it's so baffling that I can't help but stutter, just like right now. In my mind, we'd always had a package deal. Me, Ryui, and Misaki, it was either all or nothing. I mean, you're your own person, so you can hang out with whoever you want. But I can't be buddy-buddy with Misaki until she realizes what she's done. I never thought Ryui, of all people, would be irrational. How bad had it been exactly? I've never seen Ryui so upset, at least not in a really long time. Sorry to be a downer. Why don't we just grab some lunch? How about you go on ahead? I need to talk to Mr. Ryota. Oh, okay. Surprisingly, she doesn't ask me any more questions. She heads to the lunch line without a word. Maybe she also feels rotten inside, like something has been lost forever. I shake these thoughts and immediately locate Mr. Ryota, who's just popped out of the faculty line and conveniently enough is heading in my direction. He watches our separation with an eyebrow raised to his hairline. Oh? Are the newlyweds already running into trouble? I ignore this. Good timing, Mr. Ryota. I wanted to ask you something. If the question's whether to officially ask Ryu out, the answer is yes. What? No, that's not the question. Oh, really? That's a bit boring. Ryu and I aren't... You know what? Never mind. I was wondering what it means when you see someone you haven't seen forever who you thought disappeared off the planet. It means exactly what you just said. Your life actually is a crappy anime. I never said that. Oh, you didn't? Mr. Ryota. Sorry, can't help it. Now, who's this person you haven't seen forever? She's just transferred to my class this morning. Ryui, her, and me, we were really close when we were little, back in our hometown settle. Transfer student, childhood friend. Don't even think about it. Blame the writer of this game for inserting anime tropes. Too late. My life is not a crappy anime. It's not. You keep telling yourself that, Yama. Kind of is. You're right. It's a really crappy anime. So what's the problem? Well, I talked with her, and I think we'll be friends again, but Ryui is jealous? What? No, what is this, junior high? Sorry, I'll shut up. See, when, well, Misaki, that's the transfer student, left, she accidentally triggered a giant depressive state that basically left me in the dumps for a year. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. Ryu claims it was bad. Yama, when can you come to my office today? I want to listen properly to you, and the cafeteria is not exactly in an ideal environment. Well, I guess that Mr. Ryota got hired into his job for an actual reason. Okay. Guess I'll drop by after school? Or during, really, either way works. Now off to lunch, you. Gotta eat before the bell rings. Young growing boys need all the nutrition they can get. Well, he can't sound like the wise, all-knowing teacher when he just implied he was fine. Excuse me. When he just implied it was fine for me to ditch school. Mr. Ryota's irresponsibility made me cough. I'll see you later, Mr. Ryota. He only responds with a casual wave before he saunters over to the nearest table, chatting easily with a group of students. I guess, yeah. I mean, what would you call the people who, like, you know, guides students? Well, you call them a guidance counselor. There was, like, a guidance counselor in my high school. It's kind of like that, really. In general, just, you know, just talking to the students. You know, them, like, what's the word? Like, confiding, or what? Confiding, right? Confiding, or, well, I mean, yeah, just like telling him all the problems I might have during their teenager years, and he helps them out by giving them advice and all that. I snag a plate of food and search for Ryu, but she's nowhere in sight. Guess that conversation took a little longer than I originally intended. Ryu was not here? That's too bad. It seems to me Ryu was a little sad too, so I should cheer her up again. Yama. I quickly scarfed my food down and returned to the classroom. Alright class, let's take a secondary role before we head to the courtyard. What? We have more PE? The teacher is halfway through rolling her eyes before she catches herself. I guess it's not a good example to roll your eyes in front of your students. No, Yahiko, today's career day has been announced over the PA for the past 3 days. Afternoon classes are cancelled so that third years may explore possible future occupations with specialists. Alright. Questions of the future. Writing prompt about our dream job. Now career day. I think I'm sensing a pattern here. We're already running a little late, so let's make this quick. Anyone missing? Nope. That prompts us to glance around. I think he's right, ma'am. Everyone's here. Everyone except Misaki, who apparently is at her job. Time to do some not-so-subtle recon. Teacher, where's that girl? The one sitting by the window. The teacher waves her hand dismissively. Special circumstances. Anyone else? Despite myself, I feel a prick of curiosity. Special circumstances? What kind of circumstances would warrant such an offhand dismissal from the teacher? I thought most teachers loathed making exceptions from mandatory events. Just what could Misaki's job be? As the teacher continues to survey the classroom, I feel a nudge against my arm. I'm surprised you brought it up. What? Usually, you wouldn't say anything even if you noticed. You would have thought it too much trouble. Her words are remarkably neutral. It's awkward. Feels like a trap. I think you should stop pretending like you actually know me, or that you have a brain. You're insufferable. That's a bit mean, don't you think? Yama? She storms to the back of the room in a huff. I'm insufferable? She's done far, far worse, and she's judging me. Did she? I mean, we don't know that. I don't know that. As far as the story we've been seeing so far, we didn't see her do anything horrible. But maybe she has? I don't know. What a hypocrite. Why is she a hypocrite, Yama? I don't understand. This hasn't been revealed to me, the reader of this visual novel yet, I don't think. Alright, looks like everyone else is here. To the courtyard, destiny awaits. There are more than a few rolled eyes, but everyone obediently flies out of the classroom. Our class pours into the courtyard, which currently resembles a crowded street market. Columns of booths are set in orderly lines, each attempting to outshine the others with progressively more outrageous signage and progressively louder music. I wonder if they got a booth for my future job. What is your future job? You just say you're owning a bunch of rich cars, and you have a harem, and you have a mansion, and you got space to build a mansion on the moon. What exactly is that job, Yahiko? Come to think of it, in all of the 203 times he's talked about his dream, he's never once mentioned his future job, just all the things he'll own. Oh, and what might that be? Isn't it obvious, my stunning looks and all? So, a trash can? Is that even a job? Of course it's a job, it's your waifu. No. Well, oh well, no. I wanna be a model. Oh, that's ridiculous. Well, it's not as silly as it seems. I mean, seeing as how he just believed that being a trash can was a profession, he can't have a job that requires him to think. He also can't have a job that requires social interaction. He just repels people instead of attracting them. Those are his two biggest flaws, and modeling doesn't need either. As for his looks, I hate to admit it, but he's not so bad looking. He'd probably be able to land himself a girlfriend if he could just kept quiet. What about a boyfriend too? Yamana. It almost sounds like a serious plan. Yahiko, my friend, I'm glad you finally realized the cruel truth. Yeah? What are you talking about? I'm just saying that it's a good idea, especially coming from you. Isn't it? Once I become famous, the entire world will be able to witness my magnificence. I'll be on the TV, the internet, advertising blimps, basically everywhere. On second thought, maybe it's a terrible idea. Well, if you don't mind me, I'm off to meet my destiny. And with that, he skips off into the crowd, leaving me awkwardly leaning against the wall like some kind of delinquent. I'm not sure what to do. I'll be wasting my time if I look around, but I'll be wasting my time if I stay here. What a conundrum. You there. I turn to the source of the voice, a man in a medical coat standing in front of the booth boasting a holographic sign, Way Forward Pharmaceuticals, Hospital Division. Hunch, I'm guessing he's a doctor. Are you interested in becoming a doctor? Bodies, open wounds, yeah, no. Sorry, I don't think I could deal with the pressure of being a doctor. A little something in my throat. Probably because I ate so fast. When I had my food break. If that's what you worry about, then don't worry. I'm a heart surgeon, and I get an entire team of people helping me during the operations. Well, I have people helping me. Scalpel, please. Nah. What do you mean, nah? I thought I was supposed to do all the cutting this time. That doesn't matter. It sure does. I see what's going on here, man. You want to take all the credit. Well, guess what? That ain't happening. What are you talking about? I'm the doctor here. Doctor, the patient is in critical condition. If you don't act fast, he's going to die. The patient's dying, dang it. Give me the scalpel. Oh, there. They'll be getting your scrubs in a bunch. Doctor, the patient is dead. See? Look at what you did. Look at what I... Well... Yeah, I don't think being a doctor is right for me. Are you sure? We've got a great internship program. I'm good. Thanks, though. Another nearby booth catches my eye. A multicolored sign claims that it's from a National Education Institute. Behind the booth table, a tall woman in glasses is speaking animatedly to a small group of students. Don't you feel that we have a duty to equip the next generation? In this society, knowledge is power, and we need to ensure that our successors have the power to move forward. My job is the best and the most beneficial, and there are no downsides whatsoever. Yeah, been there. Heard that. Don't your students annoy you or tire you out? Well, I've had some ups and downs in my career, of course. The more difficult students may be perplexing at first, but when you persevere, you always end up getting those students back on the right path. Is that so? Peach, what's 5 plus 7? This is high school, Mr. Ikari, not primary school. You should have mastered addition by now. But teach... Excuse me, Mr. Kurigane, smoking is not permitted on campus. Hand those over. You ain't the boss of me, kid. Kid, I'm your teacher. You're shorter than me, kid. That makes you a kid, Alright, that's it. You're staying after class. You've got detention to serve. Says who? Says you? You can't even take a diseased chicken with one claw tied to its tail. That's... Why can't you be that eloquent on your essays? A teacher? What? What's wrong? Wait, what, are you crying again? What for? Oh, they're angry at me. I'm sorry. I'm so terrible. I can't... Hey, don't cry. Yeah, I don't think I have enough patience to deal with students as well. I meandered down the row of booths, apathetically peering at any that seemed mildly entertaining. One man with a remarkably bushy mustache raises his fist in the air, yelling at the top of his lungs. Do you love Japan? Join the Japanese Self-Defense Force today! Wow, I thought those kinds of die-hard patriots only existed on TV. Any man who's able to follow orders can be seen as the hero of Japan. Well, if you're still alive. Grenade! Cover it, soldier! What? But we could just run away. Jump on that grenade and have you court-martialed for insubordination. But I'll die. All the better. Hop to it. Yeah, also not happening. Well, I mean, as far as I know, the Japanese Self-Defense Force is not... It's a military, like a self-defense military, but it's like... It's not going to war anytime... Well, I mean... I was gonna say it doesn't go to war anytime soon, but like, for one, we don't know the setting of this game. There might be wars going on. And also, like, the Self-Defense Force, I'm pretty sure they're required to, like, help out with other countries, right? They need to send in their military force sometimes overseas to help out, for example, like other military operations, you know, that are not exactly wars, but are still dangerous. And stuff. You know? So, it's not the easiest thing in the world either. So I turn away from the booth. Everything I see is equally unpromising. Do you have a knack for cooking? Why not apply to Leon Culinary School? Gather here, engineers, mathematicians, fellow countrymen. The biggest digital corporation in the world, Lemniscate, has positions open for you. Have you always wanted to help the hurting? Join us in the Cumulus Therapy Center and transform the world, one life at a time. A quick glance in the other directions reveals that I seem to be the only one having trouble. Yeah. Oh, new person here. I find Elizabeth in deep conversation with a police officer just a few feet away. Wouldn't have thought her to be the type. Maybe she's sucking up to them so they'll let her off the corporate fraud. Can't really judge her. At least she found something that she's interested in. Me, on the other hand, well, I have nothing. Corporate fraud? I guess she's involved in some way. For like a corrupt company or something? I don't know. And yeah, careers. Me personally, I also can't find my life's calling. Teacher, doctor, engineer, therapist, police officer, even soldier. I thought about it all, and they all just don't seem to fit who I am, nor do I have the skills or the inclination to do those kinds of jobs, so... What's up? Can't find your life's calling? What? I turn to the source of a man, a scraggly man slumped against a rickety folding chair, a worn beanie plopped on his head, and a threadbare trench coat thrown over his shoulders. There's no sign on his booth. Is hobo a legitimate career? Ha! Youngsters these days, you hold your future in your own hands, and you don't even know what to do with it. You're lucky, you know. There was a time when people didn't have the luxury of choosing their career. Upon a second glance, I noticed there are several rolling racks of books settled in the back of the booth. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to their genre: science fiction, mystery, fantasy, young adult, but they're all under the same name. Are you a writer? He smiles when I ask him this. What, surprise? You think I was an adventurer? Globetrotter? A homeless guy, actually? He throws back his head and laughs. You've got a life. I can't wait to read your stories. Somehow, I don't think being a writer would fit me. Oh, somebody help me! Whatever shall I do? You're not generic damsel in distress, I'm the hero! I lost the previous battle, so this is the heroic rematch where I'm guaranteed to win. How fortunate! After you win this final battle, I shall bestow you with an obligatory smooch of victory. Hey, you can't just ignore the villain, I got your girl, Yama! Oh, spare us for your evil gloating, it'll only lead you to your downfall. But I gotta... give a motive rant so that we can understand your identity as a tragic villain? Nah, I'll just put that as a footnote. Okay, I'm tired of this needless banter. I've actually written the princess's backstory so that she's a badass in distress. But you didn't even foreshadow that. Too bad, I need to move the plot forward. Hiya! Blech. No! Sounds like you're writing an anime, is what you're writing. Yeah, I don't think I can come up with any original material. That's why you just rip off of real life, you know? Thanks, but no thanks. He shrugs apathetically as I walk away. A nearby small group of students catches my eye. They're gathered in front of a man in a long sweeping lab coat. Hoen Kyoma? With a ponytail? Nah. Although his voice is placid, there lies an undercurrent of power in every word he says. Life is a fragile thing. There is an unspeakable number of ways for the human body to fail, and even more for it to be broken. Death wasn't accepted as an inevitable part of life, a natural stage of the cycle of this world. But it doesn't have to be that way. The man in the lab coat straightens as the students break into hurried whispers. Through research, we can create medicine that fights diseases and treats disorders, extending our lives exponentially and maybe indefinitely. So he's a medical researcher. He fixes his gaze on each individual in the crowd, not in a hostile manner, but certainly an unnerving one. A day may come when we can defy death. His eyes land on me. The intelligent arc of his brow and the commanding line of his jaw shift slightly as he examines me. I feel frozen beneath his piercing gaze. It isn't exactly uncomfortable, just strange. Eventually, he turns away, adjusting the golden glasses that are settled on the bridge of his nose. If you seek to make a lasting influence on the world, join us at Way Forward Pharmaceuticals in the research division. Together, we can accomplish the impossible and prevent the inevitable. The crowd of students break into applause, their faces agape in wonder. I can only scoff. No one can defy death. Anyone who thinks otherwise is just delusional. Oh, not right now, but who knows what the future will hold, Yama? Maybe. As I turn away from the Way Forward booth, the PA hums to life. Attention students, Mayor Inori will be speaking at the center stage in 5 minutes. The students around me gasp audibly, breaking into frantic whispers. Mayor Inori, here, in person? Our school's important, you know. Why wouldn't he come? Come on, let's get a good spot. I follow the massive throng of students gathering around the courtyard center stage. Sure enough, Masaru Inori, the ever-popular mayor of Isamu, is in the flesh. He gives the students a cordial wave from behind an impenetrable line of security guards. You know, back in my day, when dinosaurs roamed the earth. This extracts a laugh from the crowd. We always ditched career day. We popped over the GFC, you should have seen it before it was renovated, and stuffed ourselves on wings. There were only double S's at the time. Shows you how far we've come as a society, eh? The crowd chuckles again. Among them I catch the distinct taint of Elizabeth's giggle. As usual, she's eagerly jotting notes on her phone, hanging on to the mayor's every word. The brunette girl, who's always around Elizabeth, is also next to her. Surprisingly, she seems equally engrossed in the speech. And yes, I hated career day. Thought it was a waste of time. Thought they were restraining me at the time, when all I wanted was explore myself. Who I was, who I wanted to be. But later, I realized that I was thinking about career day in a completely wrong way. It wasn't about deciding my future. It was about exploring possibilities. He allows a moment of thoughtful silence before he continues. The truth is, you'll probably change careers multiple times in your life. In fact, the average number of job changes is estimated to be 15 times. You could be in med school all your life, but have experience in construction, woodworking, design, architecture, statistics, engineering, maybe even ostrich babysitting and bicycle fishing. Elizabeth smiles into her hand as the students laugh like a perfectly timed track. But, as vast as the future is, you know what you don't want to do. You don't want to be hurt. You don't want to go each day full of insecurities, doubts, and fears. You don't want to be lied to, or backstabbed, or treated like a fake. I won't lie to you. It's a nasty world out there. But I think that we can all agree that regardless of who we are or where we're from, we each have an important part to play in the safety of this country. So, go on. Explore. You guys are bright. And hey, you guys are in a better spot than I was. I thought I liked nothing more than to become an anthropologist. Not that I even knew what that meant at the time. It just sounded cool. His parting sentence elicits another laugh as he steps off the stage, offering a final wave. The students erupt into cheers in response. I quickly shuffle away from the crowd before the noise overwhelms me. I don't want to like this guy. Heck, I don't want to like any politicians, but, well, he seems to be less evil than the others I've seen. Well, you know, that's what politicians do. They're very personable, is the thing, for the most part. That's their job. Furthermore, he made a good speech. He came across intelligent but genuine. Two major opposites of politics. Maybe I'll vote in his re-election. Maybe. Hello, stranger. Oh? Oh, hey, Mickey. I abruptly stop in my tracks, finally taking in what she's wearing. Well, you're dressed up. Which is putting it lightly. She's draped in silken kimono that ripples around her figure like water, hair inset with minimalistic ribbon and crystal pin. She could own the red carpet, or a throne even with that outfit. Pretty, my mind supplies unhelpfully. I quickly grind that part of my mind to dust. And that's all you have to say? Well, what were we expecting? Poetry? Oh, dearest, you liken yourself to starlight, with eyes like the moon and a mouth like the purest golden flame the sun e'er did see. She promptly slaps me on the back. Very funny, Shakespeare the Second. Although I am surprised, your recitation was pretty decent. I feel like she's insulting me, but she genuinely seems shocked. So, what brings you here? Did you want to become a model? A what? Oh, no need to be embarrassed. Male models are hardly anything new. However, they do tend to be physically fit. Do you happen to have a six-pack? I'll pretend I heard none of that. What makes you think I would ever want to be a model? You're standing by my company's booth. We are a modeling company. Surprised, I cast a quick glance behind her. Sure enough, a large banner reads Lotus Modeling above a tent with striking photo spreads. Hence the kimono, I assume. You assume correctly. So where's Ryui? I haven't seen her all day. That awkward moment when, really? That's funny. She attends this school, right? Well, of course she does. So you've seen her today? Well, yeah. You didn't tell her about me? Hello, social drama, I missed you not. How can I word this delicately, or better yet, avoid it completely? You should probably be getting back to your job. I have my eye on you, Yama. Do you really think I can't tell when you're lying? I believe in my ability to run away? Always the same, I see. I've made a mental note to harass you about it later. Until then, Yama. She floats back to her booth, greeting any curious glances with an effortless smile. A model. Her job is modeling. Somehow I find that... Excuse me. Yeah, clear my throat. Somehow I find that a little underwhelming. I almost expected her to be involved in something drastic, like the Secret Service, the film industry, or even the Olympics. Yeah, I was thinking... Yeah, because she got that phone call, it was quite mysterious, but it is just modeling? Maybe? But modeling, where you pose and change and smile for hours and hours. Adventurous, stubborn Mickey? It doesn't seem to fit her. Or is it just a cover for a real job? Whatever. I guess it's none of my business anyway. It's time to see Mr. Ryota. Time for our therapy session. This time, he opens the door as soon as I knock. I must have caught him at a good time. Welcome, Ishimoto. We've been expecting you. He cackles maniacally and taps his fingertips together. Well, you should have turned your chair while stroking a cat. Bah, everyone's a critic. Would you have rather been left standing outside the code? Outside? I'd be in the hallway. You seem awfully eager to prove your mentor wrong, boy. Well, whether I prove it or not, it's still wrong, right? Yes, but that would never fly in the court of law, you see. Imagine it. I declare the defendant guilty because from a medical or from a metaphysical standpoint, it is true, even if I have no epistemological why is words are hard. Epistemological link of knowing so. I just lost you. I get that a lot. Go ahead and take a seat. We've got more important things to discuss, no? Hesitantly, I slide into the nearest couch. I've always seen Mr. Ryota as an intelligent man, even if laid back, but I've never actually, well, not understood him. I wonder how much brain mass he's hiding behind that cheery facade. So, the new transfer student, Misaki Kazehaya. I hope you don't mind, I did a little lookup on her. You can do that? Well, there's no explicit rule saying that I can't use the confidential databases. I'm pretty sure that there is. Nope, I may be faculty, but I'm not a teacher. It's only stated that teachers have to request special permission. I checked the loopholes. Something feels wrong about this. Well, what did you find out? Well, if I tell you, then that's a solid breach of confidentiality. I don't want to go to jail yet. The food's too good here. Mr. Ryota, I really worry about you sometimes. And this is me talking. So, instead, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter, Yama. How did you two meet? And you mentioned that she left? Yeah. I close my eyes, letting the ever-constant hum of the air conditioner calm my nerves. Also, I have an air conditioner in my room right now, and hopefully it's not too annoying. I turned up the noise suppression, so I mean, you might be able to still hear it, but like there's nothing I can do really, unless I want to be very, very, very hot in this stuffy room, which I don't want to do. But again, yeah, hopefully it isn't too bad. It only you can only hear it when I speak, right? Because I also have a noise gate that I put on, so when I'm not speaking, you shouldn't hear the air conditioner. Well, then I start talking. It's practically subconscious or subconscious. My mouth dutifully repeats the train of thought running through my mind. Everything is calm, clear, slow. Therapy. Something that I've gotten used to over the years. Oh, okay, so Yama has had therapy before. So I easily turned my brain to the topic of interest. Misaki Kazehaya. I'd met her when I was young. Not too young. A baby still forming thought patterns and ideas about the world, but young enough to be highly impressionable. I had been on a day when I thought nothing could make me smile. Not the vibrant lanterns strewn between the roofs of multicolored booths, not the festive rhythm of the taiko drummers urging on the parade of light-bearing dancers, not the stands in which a variety of nutritionally questionable foods were being served. Not even Ryui, who dragged me out of the house despite my best efforts to stay miserable. It was only around an hour into the festival, but I was ready to go. When Ryu went to the bathroom, I seriously considered ditching her and going back to my room. Apparently, I was scowling deeply at that. I didn't know until a passing girl suddenly stopped in front of me. Annoying girl. Does your face always look like that? To say the least, that didn't help my foul mood. I glared up at her. She was pretty. Well, that was my first thought in my head. The instinctive spark of appreciation when a guy sees a pretty girl, no matter how much he wants to feel otherwise. Her hair was braided back into an elegant half-updo, light ebony curls framing her porcelain face. Or ebony. Ebony? I guess reading it literally is wrong. I think it's ebony, right? That's how you pronounce it? Big eyes, long lashes, pointed chin, the kind of traditional beauty you might see in a kimono commercial. Of course, the first spark of interest was immediately overridden by the indignance that only an 8-year-old boy could feel. What are you looking at? Don't look so grumpy. You should be celebrating. She didn't know anything, of course, not until a few months later. Festivals are stupid. They're not. Why? There isn't even any reason to celebrate. The girl's face twisted into something resembling anger. It looked strange on her face, like a guinea pig attempting to seem menacing. Well, you don't even know what the festival is about, do you? Well, of course I didn't, but I was about to admit that. Of course I do. Oh yeah? What's it about? Well, you make lanterns. Uh-huh, and... I fisted my hands at her condescending tone. You write wishes on them and stuff. Wrong. Am not. Yeah, you are. You don't write wishes. You write what you want to tell dead people. Ridiculous, I should have said. Why would I even want to talk to dead people? But I didn't mock it. I couldn't mock it. Dead people? Yep, I can write a message to Auntie on this lantern and she'd see it. How do you know that? Haven't you heard the story? No, I hadn't. But my 8-year-old pride prevented me from saying that, of course. Thankfully, the girl took my silence as confusion. Well, once upon a time, there was a princess. Was she pretty? Yeah. Good at singing? Yeah. Boring. It is not boring. The indignant anger on her face made me snicker, the first time I'd smiled all day. Yeah, well, what happens? Does she get in trouble and a charming princess save her? Just listen. Look, she's actually a big meanie. A mean princess. Well, that wasn't a fairy tale staple. Oh? Yeah, but her bodyguard was in love with her and turned her good again. Oh, I felt disappointed. The story had a promising start. Yeah, isn't that trope? Like, oh, the girl is a bad girl. Oh, but then for the power of love, she's a good girl now. Nah, that's boring. Bleh. What do? Cast a spell? Give a true love's kiss? He died. Oh. Oh. Don't look so happy. I guess that's a bit of a twist on the trope. That time, I broke into a tiny laugh. But it made her good again, right? Well, yeah. She didn't trust anyone before. Thought they were all fake and stuff. It seemed that she was glaring at me at the point of the story, but before I could open my mouth, she was already continuing. Anyway, the bodyguard sacrificed himself to save her life, so the heavens were super duper impressed and put him in the stars. Aren't stars really hot? That sounds like a bad thing. Childish indignation. Indignation, this word is used often in this game, or in this visual novel. Well, game, visual novel. You can debate either way. Flickered across her face. They made her into, or made him, rather, into a constellation, you poop. Bleh. Bleh times infinity. Bleh times infinity plus ultra. Anyway, the princess realized how beautiful love really is. Because he died. She saw how much he loved her, so she decided to become a better person and trust people again. I don't know. Is that the best moral to take away from that story? I don't know. Because the bodyguard did all the work. It's like, I love you, and then I died. Okay, now you prove that love is good. I don't know. Seems like the princess still didn't have much agency in that story now, but anyway, it doesn't matter. This had nothing to do with writing messages to the dead on lanterns. I was rapidly losing interest. Well, let me guess, she lived happily ever after. Well, no, the bodyguard died, remember? I like this bodyguard. She glared at me, but somehow it felt less severe than before. Well, she wrote her promise on a lantern and set it up to the sky so he could see, because it was a constellation, remember? Now I realized I could have said a lot of things. That's stupid. He's dead. What could he do? What could he do about it? But that wasn't on my mind at the time. Well, everyone turns into a bunch of stars when they die? I think. You think or you know? If they did something to super duper impress the heavens, I guess. I smiled at that. My eyes scoured the street and landed on a simple booth. A handful of other kids were gathered around a short portable table, scrawling on lanterns with calligraphy pens clamped on fisted hands. Let's go. But I already made a lantern. Right to another dead person then. With this overwhelming display of tact and political correctness, I raced towards the table, snatched the lantern from a smiling adult, and plopped down with my pen at the ready. Who are you writing to? None of your beeswax. I began to scrawl characters in my lantern. The girl hovered over my shoulder, squinting judiciously at my jagged brush strokes. Why is your handwriting so messy? It's not messy. I can't even read it. I whipped around, narrowing my eyes accusingly at her own lantern. Well, yours... I searched for a fault, but not only was her lantern graced with perfect calligraphy, it also proudly bore a few elegant cherry blossoms. Well, yours looks... girly. She raised a single eyebrow. It was a remarkably sophisticated expression for a 9-year-old girl to make. I am a girl. And there was nothing much to say to that. Yeah, Ma, where have you been? It was as if Ryu had materialized out of thin air. I hadn't even noticed a rapid pitter-patter of her footsteps. Oh, sorry, Ryu. Jeez, you could have told me. You were in the bathroom. Clearly displeased, Ryu turned her back on me, but smiled at the other girl. Well, thanks for taking care of him. Surprisingly, the girl smiled back. Easy as you please. Well, weren't they getting along just fine? Why did they have to give me such a hard time? Maybe it was a girl thing. I'm Ryui. I'm Misaki. Are you gonna make a lantern? Yep. How'd you make those flowers? They were real pretty. I can show you. And just like that, the two of them were friends. It took a little longer to warm me up, but whatever the two of them set their minds to, they accomplished. They had always been that way. So fiery, so capable, so lovely. Two playful angels who, for some reason, unfathomable to mankind, sought to hang around a bucket of depressing sludge like me. Too real. Now, why do you think that about yourself? Why do you think that about yourself? Mr. Ryota's voice seems to come from far in the distance, faint but recognizable. I respond distractedly. You know me. I'm not useful, or popular, or particularly intelligent. Silence follows this statement, so I only continue. Our families were close. Misaki's father would always throw these get-togethers at their house over the weekends or during special occasions. I remember him being really overwhelming at first. It was a lot like Misaki, only bigger and louder. I rarely saw Misaki's mother. The times I did see her, she was pretty distant. Besides that, I really don't remember much about her. At first, we were inseparable, Misaki and us, but then her father had lost his job, and we started seeing less of her. And eventually, they just left. No warning whatsoever. Even our parents tried to get in contact. No luck. It had been as if the Kazehayas had disappeared off the face of the planet. That must have been a really hard blow. Ryu says that it had been. Honestly, I don't remember much of what followed. It all passed in a haze. Essentially, I felt abandoned. I had this idea that everyone close to me would leave me. I don't think I could even cry. I only felt empty inside. But Ryu says that it really was a terrible time. She says that I didn't eat, didn't sleep, didn't even play any games with her. What, you didn't play games with her? Man, you gotta be really depressed if that's the case. She says I looked like a ghost. Heck, practically became one. And I don't remember it. but she says that one day... Huh? What happened? Yama? What's wrong? Nope, sorry, that's it. Sob story over. Are you sure? You do realize that the entire point of therapy is to share your sob stories? It's not a burden, Yama. I'm glad to hear you out. I feel tired. I think I'll have to stop here. It's mainly an excuse, and a very effective one for therapists. Mr. Ryota immediately nods in understanding. Well, thanks for confiding in me. Yeah, that's what I tried to say before, confiding. And he probably does this to all the students. You know, at least any students that wants to confide in him. Just know that what you felt was completely valid. I'm sorry you had that trauma. It's fine, I got over it. I'd like to go now, if that's okay. If you're sure. Is there anything I can do for you? I'm okay. Sure you don't want a lollipop? Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but thanks. Have a good day, Yama. But at least, take this prescription. Prescription? Seriously? Then I actually look at it. 1 bucket of ice cream, to be eaten guilt-free. Wow, what a great prescription. Oh. As far as the administration knows, this is a totally legitimate treatment. Ice creams are the core groups of the food pyramid, you know? He actually pulls a genuine laugh out of me. Well, thanks, Mr. Ryota. And thanks for listening. Anytime. I exit Mr. Ryota's office in a considerably better mood than when I entered it. I actually don't feel tired. I feel rejuvenated. Seems like those memories have been weighing on me for a long time. Well, maybe therapy really will be beneficial. Amazing.